Okay, it is Sunday and I am going to be going for an ultrasound in probably like an hour and a half. And it's so funny. I just saw a few comments on some of my TikToks because these videos have been very, very delayed. And I had just posted about our experience with the NHS, and it's funny to me because people get so incredibly defensive if somebody doesn't have a positive experience on the NHS. And it's really interesting to me because there's nuance to situation, right? Someone can have a good experience and someone can have a bad experience. I have had tons of messages from people saying that they didn't have a good experience in Prague, and that's totally okay. But we can't, as a society, as a culture, we have really gotten very sensitive to people sharing their opinions on things, especially if they differ to what we believe. And I am about to go for this ultrasound, and my husband, it's not written down in the diary just yet, but right now it's looking about the 1st of March that he's going to be going for his varicocele embolization. And going into this transfer and knowing everything that has got us up to this place, the comment that I just read said that, the NHS isn't equipped for everything. And I totally understand that. But that being said, it was just last week or the week before, the doctor that we saw privately was lobbying in Parliament with a few other people about how they can go about changing the protocol with the NHS. And one of the, you know, pieces of rebuttal back towards them was like, obviously the NHS is underfunded and it can't handle everything. And so if you're saying that we need to do this and it's going to cost more money, like we can't really justify that. And what the Dr. Ramsey, who we saw, had said was, but the thing is that there is funding on the NHS for fertility treatment. But the craziest part of it, and I'm like putting it in my own words now, but the craziest part of it is that if you aren't doing the accurate tests up front, you're wasting the NHS's time, you're wasting the NHS's money. And this is the part, 2 minutes and 43 seconds in, this is the part that I really struggle with when I'm trying to explain to people where we are annoyed and where we're angry, etc., is that if things were looked into properly at the beginning, we wouldn't have wasted NHS's time. I mean, the NHS got paid for it because I had to pay for it out of pocket because the doctor deemed that the problem was with me. Newsflash, the problem isn't with me. But by doing something properly out of the gate, you're potentially saving time and money and resources down the line because you actually have a full scope or a fuller scope of what the problem is. Because let's just say in a different world, I got my visa 4 months earlier. I would have been eligible for the NHS IVF, and we would have gone through it, and however many transfers they let us have, some places it's one, some places it's 3 on the NHS, they would have most likely failed. And what a waste of my time, my husband's time, the NHS is time, etc. That it's just like, yeah, I feel like there has to be space. And I don't take it personally anymore because I see all the comments from my peers in the UK, in the infertility community, etc., say the same thing when people go off on it. But my wish and hope and prayer for the future is that there can be space to have conversation clearly and effectively and make a solution on how to move forward. Because by just saying that the NHS isn't suitable to help all things is very dismissive, number one. And equally, what the NHS will help with, a lot of it, be it that it's not being investigated properly, is wasted time and wasted money. So are we just going to continue checking a box to say, oh yeah, we've helped, when it's like, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're wasting the couple's time and the couple's money, essentially. That's how I'm feeling going into this ultrasound right now.